What if Messi's secret wasn't his left foot, his control, or even his goals, but his sense of time? Not the time on a watch, but the time in his mind. Because while other players see the play as it happens, he saw it 3 seconds earlier. 3 seconds. That was the phrase Zinedine Zidane said, without exaggeration, without trying to flatter anyone. I saw things 1 second before everyone else, but you saw them 3 seconds before. And it was Zidane who said it, one of the most brilliant minds ever to step on a football pitch. It wasn't a metaphor, it was a confession. Zidane, the man who made football look easy, admitted that Messi operates on another level, even mentally. That's the point. Messi doesn't just play better, he thinks faster. In a sport where half a second can decide between a genius pass or a silly mistake, Messi lives ahead of everyone else. He doesn't react, he anticipates. He doesn't chase the ball, he guides it before it even arrives. And that, in the history of football, is something very few have ever done with such natural ease. Zidane understood it immediately. He watched him, listened to him talk about how he sees the field, and realized something. Messi doesn't compete against rivals. He competes against time. Let's think about that for a second. How many players have made history for their strength, their speed, their shot? Dozens. But how many have dominated the game because they knew what would happen before anyone else? Very few. Messi doesn't need to look at a tactical map. He carries it in his head. And that explains everything. Why he's always in the right place, why he seems to walk while others run aimlessly, and why even in his quietest matches, he still ends up being the most decisive. He doesn't need to move faster. He needs to think earlier. Zidane compared him to himself, and that's the beautiful twist in this story. Because if anyone could read football like poetry, it was Zizou. But even he admitted it. Messi plays in another dimension of time. It's as if the Argentine lives 3 seconds in the future. And in those 3 seconds, while others are just lifting their heads, Messi has already seen the striker's diagonal run, the fullback's movement, and the goalkeeper's shadow. That can't be trained. It's felt. And it's not just talent. It's about understanding football as a language beyond the feet. Messi doesn't run after the ball. He moves with it. He doesn't search for space. He creates it. And when you watch his plays with this perspective, everything makes sense. That tiny pause before the perfect pass, that impossible 1-2 at the edge of the box, that change of rhythm that tears defenses apart, it's not luck, it's reading. It's the most precise mental clock in football history. That's why Zidane's statement isn't just praise. It's an elegant, almost poetic surrender from one genius to another. Because Zidane was different too. He also understood football with his head before his feet. But what he saw in Messi left him speechless. It fascinated him, and at the same time, it confirmed something. When Messi plays, football stops being a sport. It becomes a vision. How many times have we seen that throughout his career? Think of that assist to Di Maria in the World Cup, the no-look pass to Jordi Alba at Barcelona, the run starting from midfield, surrounded by 3 defenders, ending in a goal. Always the same pattern. Everyone runs, Messi thinks. Everyone searches. He already found it. It's as if the game speaks to him before it speaks to anyone else. And here lies the deeper reflection. In a football world increasingly physical, obsessed with stats and drained of magic, Messi represents the value of instinct. That intuition that can't be programmed or measured. Zidane saw it and said it clearly. What Messi does can't be explained with data. It's felt. His brain moves faster than the opponent's legs, and in a sport where everything happens in seconds, that makes him almost supernatural. But the most striking thing is that Messi never said it. He never bragged about it. He plays like someone unaware that he's changing history. And maybe that's why his legacy goes beyond goals and titles. His true mark lies in how he makes us see football, not as a war of speed, but as a dance of intelligence. If football were chess, Messi would be the only one who sees 3 moves ahead. If it were a film, he'd be the director, the lead actor, and the screenwriter all at once. Zidane saw it that way, and the world is beginning to see it too. He's not just the best player of his era. He's the one who made football slower, only so that his mind could move faster. Zidane's words reveal more than admiration. They reveal a truth that changes how we understand the game. Messi doesn't play in the same temporal plane as everyone else, and that changes everything. Because if time is the rarest resource in football, where every decision happens in fractions of a second, Messi doesn't just manage it better. He controls it, stretches it, compresses it, and anticipates it. It's as if he lives in a dimension where the clock runs differently, allowing him to see what no one else sees, do what no one else does, and decide before anyone else even realizes what's happening. That cognitive advantage, that mental clock Zidane described with humility and awe, is what makes Messi a phenomenon beyond the physical. Because while modern football obsesses over metrics, GPS data, top speeds, and high pressing, Messi reminds us that the game is still, above all, a matter of intelligence, perception, and sensitivity. And that can't be measured in kilometers per hour, only in seconds of anticipation. The most fascinating thing is that Messi never explained it, never flaunted it, never said, "I think faster." He simply did it, and keeps doing it. In every through pass, in every pause that dismantles a defense, in every play where it feels like the ball seeks him, not the other way around. It's as if football chose him to express its purest, most elegant, most cerebral version. Zidane, one of the few who understood the game like a symphony, recognized it instantly, and that confession carries historical weight. Because it's not the same when a journalist says it, or a fan, or a rival. When Zidane says it, the poet of midfield, the architect of the perfect pass, it's as if the art of football itself bowed to its evolution. Messi doesn't run more than others. He doesn't jump higher. He doesn't shout louder. But he thinks earlier, and in that earlier lies his magic. While everyone else reacts, he's already solved it. While everyone searches, he's already found it. And in a sport that lives in the instant, that's like having superpowers. That's why his legacy isn't measured only in titles, goals, or records. It's measured in how he changed the way we see football, in how he taught us that a pause can be harder than speed, that a pass can shine brighter than a goal, and that time, when you think like Messi, becomes art. And maybe that's his greatest revolution, proving that football doesn't need shouting to be epic or muscles to be dominant. It only needs a mind that sees 3 seconds ahead, like Messi's, like no other. And now I ask you, do you think Messi was born with that vision? Or did he build it over the years? Is it pure talent or wisdom that only time can teach? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to read your thoughts. And if you enjoy watching football from this angle, from the mind, not just the feet, subscribe to keep exploring the genius who changed the way we see the game.